We are truly living in the golden age of watching professional pickleball. I think sometimes we take this for granted. I mean, just look at this calendar. You really can't escape it. We had PPA last week, APP and MLP this week. There's a stretch coming up, 18 weeks. Only 1 week doesn't have pro pickleball from the APP, PPA, or MLP. There's like 22 events in that stretch. And as such, it's just a lot to keep up with. A lot of the times, the content I make already feels kind of stale by the time it comes out. So I'm trying to streamline the process a little bit here, and we're going to do a little bit of a different approach this week. I'm going to try to do a much lighter edit and just screen record the slides as I talk about them. So we'll see how this goes. I've tried it before. Let me know if you like this. Go ahead and also, while you're doing that, like, subscribe. You don't have to, just, So with that, we're going to talk about a very brief PPA Atlanta recap. We will do PPA year-to-date charts. We have medal counts. We have points data to look at, and really proud of some new charts, some new visualizations. Also, we'll talk about some other topics, and then we'll do a quick little MLP Austin preview. So here we'll take a quick look at the winner's circle. It was J.W. Johnson and C.J. Klinger taking home the gold medal. They beat Ben Johns and Gabe Tardio, Andre Diascu, and Christian Alshon. They took home bronze. We'll do a deeper dive on that gold medal match here in just a second. In women's doubles, this was, of course, the much-anticipated breakup, shake-up showdown between Anna Bright and Anna Leigh Waters, Team Anna, versus, I don't know what to call this team. It kind of just feels like maybe we'll call this team like Team Second Banana. I don't know. That's kind of lame, but whatever. Sticking with it. One take wonder. I'm a one take wonder this episode. And then in bronze, Paris Todd and Tyra Black. A lot of people have been saying the team that could maybe take down Team Anna isn't Paris and Tyra, but maybe Tyra and Georgia. The Dallas Flash women's team has been very strong, but they're not always playing together on the tour. We're going to talk about that in just a second, too. Mixed doubles, no surprise here. Ben and Anna Leigh get the gold. Christian Alshon and Eda Tuionotoa take home silver, though, so that is maybe boding well for what is coming up at MLP Austin. That is the Texas Rangers mixed doubles line. In singles, Anna Leigh Waters beat Kate Fahey. And one of these days, I do think Kate will steal one off of her. It just hasn't really come together yet. Paris Todd took home a bronze, so that's a couple of medals for Paris Todd, a pair of bronzes. In singles, Ben Johns back on top. It's been a while. And you might notice Federico Staksrud is missing. That's because he lost to the number 65 seed Alex Crum. You may not be familiar with that name, but he is top 25-ish in duper in singles. He is number 6 on the APP Tour. So the 65 seed probably a little misleading for that. Still, it is a massive upset. Singles as a whole, especially men's singles, is really just wide open. I think I saw someone post this maybe on Twitter or something. That it kind of feels like golf, where like there's not one person that you're super confident is going to win on any given week. It feels like there's, just a handful of people that will be contending, and it's really fun to see who comes out on top in a given week. One thing about this men's singles final was we did see this big emotional outburst from Ben Johns. You don't always see that from Ben, so that was certainly interesting to see. And with that, I would like to pivot and let's take a look at some PPA points data. We'll be comparing year-to-date 2025 points race, which is just only results in the 2025 season, compared to where they were at this stage last season. So we'll start off here with men's doubles. This does include the Atlanta Slam data as well. So looking at the points race here, Andre Diascu is still in the top, but just behind him by 100 points is Ben Johns, Christian Alshon, Gabe Tardio, Fed Staksrud, Hayden Patrick Quinn, C.J. Klinger, J.W. Johnson, Dylan Frazier, Colin Johns. I'm just reading names. That's not good. That's not good podcasting. Y'all can take a look at this. Over here, though, where things are maybe more interesting, to me at least, is who are kind of the stock risers, who are the stock fallers. We can see C.J. Klinger is the biggest riser. Now, keep in mind, he didn't really play very much on the PPA Tour last year, but still, it's hard to argue that he's not having a tremendous year so far in 2025. Remember, the Daytona event at the end of 2024 actually counts for this season in the points race. So as a result, he now has 2 gold medals, including the one he just won this past weekend. He's done it with Andre Diascu, and he's done it with J.W. Johnson. And speaking of Andre, he is another huge riser by this metric. 3,600 points at this stage last year compared to 8,500. That's massive. Again, he's won a few golds. Done it with Christian Alshon, done it with Ben, he's done it with CJ. It's crazy how messy it is at the top of men's doubles with all these top players playing with each other. Moving to the stock fallers, you might not be surprised to see Colin Johns on here, of course. The breakup with Ben was going to hurt his stock. I mean, what else can you do? And we also have Matt Wright not having as good of a year. Dylan Frazier post J-Dub, not been as strong, although we're starting to, I feel like, see a little bit better results from Dylan lately. So I'm going to hold my Dylan Frazier stock for now. And interestingly enough, we talk about Dylan Frazier post J-Dub, but J-Dub post Dylan Frazier also isn't doing as well as he was at this point last year. And keep in mind, last year, they didn't even start on the PPA Tour. They did a few APPs in there. And now I just did a whole lot of jumping to conclusions, but one thing I do just want to talk about is my process here. I did tie out with these values 100% of the top 50 men, women, and mixed doubles points totals, and 99 of 100 singles players I was able to tie out to. The exceptions here are I'm not capturing PPA Challenger Series. You get 125 points if you win a gold in that. So anybody that's in the top 50, I just hard code to fix that. And then there was one other weird one. Salome Davidze, by the data I have, which was generously provided by Pickle Wave, Andrew over at Pickle Wave. He sends me this data, and I just kind of do my thing with it. If you haven't checked out that website, by the way, you're absolutely missing out. According to this data, I think Salome Davidze should have 1,300 points, not 800 points in singles. She did withdraw from 2 bronze matches. The PPA handbook does say that you could get a point deduction from withdrawing for improper reasons from a medal match, so that would kind of track with what I'm seeing. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm trying to do a little bit of digging, but I don't know. That was interesting that was literally the only one I could not tie out to. But anyway, another thing to keep in mind is I don't have anything to validate my 2024 race points against. Just, kind of vanishes. I don't even know if there's record of who finished in what place last year. I couldn't find it literally anywhere. So I use the exact same process, so I do feel good that it is accurate. And then lastly, remember, players may not play the same number of events year-to-date, especially for people who came over from the APP, specifically the Johnson 5, the Johnson Twin, Paris Todd, CJ Klinger. Here we have the same data for women's doubles. No surprise to see Annalie Waters in first place, Catherine Parenteau, Anna Bright. Looking over on the right again, we have our stock risers, and there is no bigger stock riser than Hurricane Tyra Black. And in second place is Georgia Johnson and Paris Todd. And to me, it does kind of feel like it's going to be some combination probably of these 3 players that are going to be the ones to try to challenge Team Anna if anybody can. And to be honest, I don't think anybody can. And hey, how about Lee Waters? 0 points at this point in 2024. And she got the 1 event and the 1 gold medal. Good for 1,000 points. Good for her. And not to be outdone, it's pretty crazy that Annalie is so dominant, yet she's actually doing better than she did last year. Pretty crazy. Some PPA women's doubles players that are having a worse start to 2025 than 2024. We have Megan Dizon, who interestingly is Annalie Waters' teammate in MLP. We have Callie Smith, Etta Tuionatoa, Lucy Kovalova, Vivian David, and I don't know why I'm just reading names again. Y'all can read those. In mixed doubles at the top, Ben Johns and Annalie Waters, followed by the Johnson siblings. Christian Alshon's having a very strong year. Anna Bright, Catherine Parenteau, and Deckel Barr. Of course, Anna and Deckel did get a win over Ben and Annalie. And speaking of Ben and Annalie, just jumping down over to the bottom right chart, you will see both of their names on there. Additionally, for Anna Bright, despite getting the 1 win over Ben and Annalie with Deckel, it just hasn't really been as good of a year for her. On to men's singles, and man, the first thing that jumps out is, Federico Sacred is still in first place in the race here, but it's not nearly as dominant as he was last year. Hunter Johnson is looking really strong. Connor Garnett, Christian Alshon. Ben John's also fallen off quite a bit since 2024. And how about the surge that Gabe Tardio is making in the men's singles? We talk about how good he's getting doubles. Obviously, Ben picked him as his doubles partner, but he's really leveled up in singles too. And I think it's another thing that when we think about MLP, that really makes the St. Louis Shock a pretty scary team. Not only is he playing better in mixed with Kate Fahey, but once it gets to a Dream Breaker, you now have Gabe playing that well, plus Anna, plus Kate Fahey, plus Hayden Patrickman. I mean, that might be the best Dream Breaker team right now. And last, we have PPA Women's Singles, where it is still the Annalie Waters show, but Caitlin Christian also having a very hot start to the year, as well as Kate Fahey is really just picking up where she left off in 2024, but she didn't really break onto the scene until the last couple months of 2024, so well ahead of pace. Here we'll take a look at some medal counts just for fun to start. Here's the all-time PPA medal count. I did an animated version of this too, which was kind of interesting to see the Ben versus Anna Leigh race. Here we've got the 2025 season medal count across all disciplines. So this includes all doubles events, all singles events. Remember, it does include Daytona 2024 and the most recent Atlanta Slam, as well as that Australian Open that happened despite not having pretty much the vast majority of the top players at it. Still counts. Leading the way is Anna Leigh Waters. She has 21 medals overall. 18 of those are golds, followed by Ben Johns, who is still cleaning up in mixed doubles with her. But as we'll see here, the men's doubles results, singles results, definitely not what they used to be. Another thing to point out too is that this gold medal that Anna Bright just won with Anna Leigh Waters, that was her first gold medal of the 2025 season across any discipline. She hadn't got it done in mixed yet. She hadn't got it done in women's next to Rachel Rohrbacher. And now she's 1-for-1 with Anna Leigh. Also, I'm thinking we're going to maybe see CJ Klinger really start to climb up this. Speaking of CJ Klinger, he has 2 gold medals. He has 5 overall in men's doubles. He, of course, did one of those with Andre and has just done one of those with J-Dub, as we talked about earlier. Christian Alshon, Ben Johnson, Andre Dascu are all actually tied at the total medal count with 7 total medals. But it is Andre with 5 golds, Ben with 4 golds, and Christian with 3 golds. Maybe I should have ordered it like that. I don't know. Aiden and Fed both have 6 medals, but they have not won gold together. Despite that, they are still the number 1 seed, at least at the last event. I think they probably still will be, but Ben Johns is the new number 1. He is back on top in the men's doubles ranking. This is, again, remember, the 12-month window. Just remember that's different than what we were looking at earlier. Taking a look at women's doubles, Anna Leigh Waters with 8 medals, 7 of them golds, of course, the 1 silver coming in the final match she played with Catherine Parento. The mixed doubles medal count, things still run pretty easily through Ben and Anna Leigh, although we have seen 2 losses from them this year, which is, maybe something to monitor. Anna Bright, Christian Alshon, Catherine Parento, Fed Saxford, Hurricane Tyra Black, all players with multiple medals, but have not found a gold. In men's singles, how about this? I mean, Fed still leads the overall medal count. He does lead the points race rank as well. But there are 5 players that are tied for the most gold medals. Fed with 2, Hunter with 2, Christian Alshon with 2, Ben Johns with 2, Gabe Chardia with 2. It's pretty crazy. Like I said, it's wide open. You never really know who's going to show up and win a given event. And the same, of course, cannot be said for women's singles. If Anna Leigh is in the field, Anna Leigh's going to win. Let's just be real. The next thing I want to talk about, I'm really proud of these. I think they're a ton of fun. It may look a little daunting at first, but basically what we're looking at here is each point represents a woman who has participated in a PPA women's doubles draw this year, and each of the lines connecting the point indicates that players have played at least one tournament together. The width of the line indicates how many points that partnership has earned. So here we can see Anna Leigh Waters has played with Catherine Parento, Anna Bright, and with Leigh Waters, her mom. Also, we are color coding based on just where these players fall into the points race. Remember, different than the rank again. I just think it's really cool how you can see the top players. I mean, kind of unsurprisingly tend to play with each other. You do have a player like Hurricane Tyra Black who has, pretty good results with whoever she plays with. You've also got players like Megan Dizon and Alex Trong who just play with so many different partners. You can see that it is kind of hard to break into this top group here. I do want to point out that you can create an unbroken chain of 11 players from Anna Leigh Waters all the way to Cade Pearson. Just to demonstrate, Cade Pearson played a tournament with Shannon Pretorius, who played a tournament with Madalena Gregoriou, who played a tournament with Kaylin Campbell, who played a tournament with Jelena Ingram, who played one with Lauren Hidalgo Smith, who played one with Audrey Adele Brown, who played one with Victoria DeMuzio, who played one with Vivian David, who played one with Jackie Kawamoto, who played with Anna Bright, who has played with Anna Leigh Waters. And I'm going to be publishing these. I'm trying to get a blog together. We've got the same chart here for PPA men's doubles. Again, I mean, this is just a complete mess. This is even useful to look at this point. Let me zoom out a little bit on this one. I mean, It's just so crazy. You can see all the top players are just, there's no set partnerships, going back just to women's doubles, like even there, you know, Annalie Waters isn't like partner hopping as much as some of these men are. You even have Maggie Brascia, Mary Brascia play together only exclusively, and they're in the top 30. Also, Zoe Wong and Brooke Buckner play together exclusively, and they are in the top 30, the only such partnerships you can say that about. And men's doubles, it's just no. There's no exclusive partnerships. Maybe we'll start to see them going forward, but even a team like Ben and Gabe, it really wouldn't surprise me to see Ben occasionally play one with Colin or play one with someone else. The partnership's been good, but it hasn't been, the dominant winning gold every week that maybe we thought it would be. We've got mixed doubles. Yeah, I don't even know where to start. We do have Ben and Annalie completely exclusive, only playing with each other. We've got Tyson McGuffin and Lacey Schneeman, Gabe Tardio and Jesse Irvin as well inside the top 20. But other than that, I mean, it's just kind of a big old mess. Catherine Parento has been trading off with Christian Alshon and Fed Staksrud. Fed has played with a handful of people, as has Christian, playing some with Hurricane Tire Black, which was a partnership that I really liked. Remember, they actually had match point on Ben and Annalie early in the season. He's also been playing with Etta Tuionatoa, of course, the Texas Ranchers connection. Etta has been playing with a little bit of everybody. James Ignatowicz has been playing with a little bit of everybody. Huang Duang's an interesting name. He just played one with Anna Bright, and I wasn't really totally vibing with the chemistry they had. I don't know. I feel like it sounded better on paper than it actually was. Oh, look, Matt and Lucy hiding out over here. The topic I want to talk about is Alex Crum. This guy is on fire. This is one of the best stories in pro pickleball right now. You can read the legend of Alex Crum right here. The no-name player who has beat not only Federico Staksrud, as we talked about at PPA Atlanta, but he literally just beat Chris Hayworth at the APP New York City Open, which is a major. So he's beaten the number one player on both tours in the same week. Also, it's funny how it's kind of sparked this debate. Alex Lance, director of content over The Kitchen, did an opinion piece basically just agreeing with this tweet from Federico Staksrud, singles, pickleballs, mini tennis. Alex even went as far as to say singles should just be gone, which is obviously a pretty crazy take. But if you're doing an opinion piece, might as well go all the way there. Next, we're going to do just a little bit of a deep dive into the real clear stats data from the men's doubles final and the women's doubles final at PPA Atlanta. If you want to take a look at these files yourself, you're more than welcome to. Links in the description. And these are provided courtesy of Ben over at Real Clear Stats. He does amazing work. We'll start off with let's go with the women's doubles first. So this one kind of has a cleaner narrative to me. I mean, we were all excited to watch it, but there wasn't really that much to see at the end of the day. The stat that jumped out to me the most, just when I was looking back through these, is that it really felt like they were targeting, not like only attacking Catherine Parento with speed-ups and firefights, but she definitely struggled the most with them. If you look at the firefight counters here, actually, I guess I should probably zoom in. It was Catherine Parento who had by far the largest net negative on her counters. As a team, Team Anna significantly more successful on their initiated firefights. Was also true in Game 2, which was closer. Also, you might notice that they just weren't being that aggressive, Catherine and Rachel. They were kind of letting Anna dictate this match. Not only is that apparent by the number of speed-ups, again, you can look at here the number of firefights that were started. 26 for Anna and Anna, only 9 for Rachel and Catherine. A firefight once every 8 hits seems just absolutely insane. That feels like absolutely just maniac pickleball. In this game, though, it actually was Rachel Rohrabacher who had the lower player impact plus rating. This is just a really quick, at-a-glance metric to show who impacted the game positively and negatively. Your score will increase if you are hitting winners and forcing your opponents to commit errors, and it'll decrease if you are the one committing errors. And Game 3 was just really weird. Taking a look at the game flow, like this chart just looks wrong. So it's so fast. Like, where are the side outs? Looking at the game stats, this was a 17 rally game. This is one of those things about rally scoring. Like, this just happens, Rallies won by servers, 82%. Yeah, that's what happens when you have a fast game. Once again, Annalie Waters never even had to counter a single speed up. Rachel Rohrabacher and Catherine Parento both struggled to counter. Starting a firefight every 8 touches is just insanely aggressive. And I mean, it worked. So yeah, that's why you did it. With that, we'll take a look and pivot over to men's doubles. But to be honest, it's getting late for me. I'm losing steam. I'm trying to do this. Like I said, I was trying to do this a little bit faster. So your homework is to take a look at this file in the link below and drop a comment. Let me know what your takeaway is from this game, especially now that you've looked at the advanced stats behind it. And last, we're just going to do a real quick MLP preview. I'm really excited for MLP. If you didn't know, it's at the Austin Pickle Ranch here in Austin, and my dad is actually the mastermind behind the Austin Pickle Ranch, so he's been hard at work all week. I'll be trying to get a few vlogs uploaded, just some behind the scenes, looking at everything that's gone into getting this event off the ground, all the work he's done, and my experience actually at the event, at the venue. I actually got a media credential approved from the UPA, so big shout out to them. I've made it, guys. I'm legit media now. My goal is to just do as many awkward interviews with pros as I possibly can and bring those directly to you. So stay tuned for that. Let's take a look at the actual MLP preview I've got put together here. We'll hop back into PowerPoint. Real quick, here is a graph I made that just shows who has played who. Here's an example of how you can actually read it. You just kind of go across. You can see Miami against Chicago. Miami earned 2 points against Chicago. Great. This is just a really quick at-a-glance way. You can see, who's played a tough schedule. You look at a team like Columbus, they've already played all these other top teams. You look at a team like Texas, they haven't really been tested all that much yet. The same can be said for Dallas. And another thing I noticed when creating this chart is if anybody tries to tell you that there is parity in MLP, tell them that the top 7 teams are 27-0 against the bottom 9 teams. And the big reason why this is a relevant stat is because at MLP Austin, there are 4 teams in the top 7, Dallas, Orlando, Texas, New Jersey, and 1 team in the bottom 9, Miami. They are ranked number 8 right now in the standings, but still, are they going to get a win this week? I mean, they are really going to be tested. And real quick here, too, are the matches that we do get at MLP Austin. We get 10 Premier League matches. It is a true round robin between these 5 teams, which I think is kind of fun. Like, we can actually declare a winner of this event if we wanted, since everybody plays everybody the same amount of times. Every single game we're getting is in this top left quadrant. These are the good games. Again, here's just another look. This is my current power rankings and tier list, so it's just going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be good teams. It's going to be a bloodbath. And we've only talked about Premier, but let me resize my face because this will also be our first look at challenger teams, including, hey, that's a new logo for the Florida Smash. I kind of like that. I think that's kind of a cool looking logo. And then to close things out, since we do have new logos, that means we do have the updated Dreamland Memorial MLP logo graveyard presented by Margaritaville. The 4 new entries here are DC Pickleball Team. Remember, DC and Brooklyn, they traded themselves to each other. So those logos no longer exist. Now they've traded. This one says DC and this one says Brooklyn. We've also now got the retired Florida Smash logo, as we just talked about, and the MLP by Margaritaville. They are now MLP presented by DoorDash. So that's going to do it for this week. Please like, please subscribe. Please be on the lookout on this channel for some more content coming out this week around MLP Austin. It's going to be a ton of fun. Got a lot of friends that are going to be there across the Pickleverse, some internet friends. Eric Tice is going to be there. We're going to maybe try to do some kind of collaboration. Not quite sure what that'll be, whether it's maybe like quick little recaps at the end of the day or something. Just let me know. Drop a comment. What do you want to see from me at MLP? And with that, I'm out of here.